Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tam Talks Tanks. As you can see, we are about to feed the shrimp bowl. Now, just bear with me because I'm currently using my front-facing camera because your gal still doesn't know how to edit yet. It will come, humble beginnings. We're gonna rock this thing. So as you can see, I have a basket full of goodies. I have a shrimp bowl. Let's get feeding. So today we're going to be feeding some dried bloodworm. I've already put in a little bit, and you can see they're going absolutely mental at the surface there. I got some salvinia from my friend Tess, and it's really doing well in this tank. I've had to remove some duckweed, which is now over here. That will be going in the compost bin in the garden. Apparently duckweed can make really good shrimp food, by the way. If you're out of nettles, next best thing is frozen and crushed up duckweed. I don't know if it needs to be frozen, but you know, it's an option. So I'm just taking the oh, come on, lighting. I'm just taking the bloodworms, just almost like a flake food, and just crushing it up really, really finely, just all over the front of the tank. They've kind of been trained almost to come to the front of the tank for meal times, which is pretty good, because I'll turn on the light in the day and they'll you know, they'll come to the front of the tank expecting some food. I don't feed them every single day. I fed them nettles yesterday and they went absolutely nuts. But before that, they'd had a couple of days fasting. But now that there are so many shrimp up the duff, we've got to up the feeding a little bit. Not to an unreasonable amount. I don't want water quality to be impacted too much, but just enough so that let's close that curtain there. Just enough so that everybody's happy, healthy, and well fed. Let's see, up here, ho ho ho, they know where the good stuff is. I don't know why the duckweed has such long roots. I've been, look at this one, right? All the way down there. I don't know if you can see that, maybe just about, but I've had it before where the duckweeds come down to like here with the roots, and that's crazy. And I've actually been overdosing this tank with fertiliser. It was a bit of a risk, not gonna lie. I use Tropica Specialised Nutrition, which contains phosphate and nitrates, because, well, this is a pretty heavily planted tank. I'm getting the itch to rescape, but that'll come later, because I've got to be sensible. But yeah, contains nitrate, ammonium, phosphate, and other nutrients. So you don't want to dose too much of it. I think 1 pump is 2 millilitres. And because it's heavily planted, I was really scared when I first started dosing it, so I was literally putting in a couple of drops because 2 millilitres is quite the overdose. But now the plants have grown in so much, I started doing 1 pump, and I found that still wasn't enough. I might have to look into root tabs, because you can see the Wente here. It's browning, and if a plant isn't thriving, then it's slowly dying, really. So yeah, the Wente on this side isn't looking too bad, but I have pruned it somewhat recently. And this one I pruned somewhat recently again. I did them both at the same time, and yeah, this one's kind of struggling a bit. So yeah, anyway, I started dosing 1 pump, which is an overdose in itself, and then it wasn't enough, so I started dosing 2 pumps, and you know, I don't want to hurt the organisms in my tank, so I don't want to do any more than that. I don't want to make 2 pumps a habit. I just think that all the nutrients from the water column had been depleted, because there's a lot of duckweed in here. Hopefully mostly going to be replaced by salvinia, because I do really like the duckweed. I think that it's very beneficial for the shrimps, and it's fantastic for soaking up excess nutrients. But whenever I put a tool in, it just gets everywhere, and it is a nightmare. An absolute nightmare with all these long roots as well. I'm really trying to shorten the roots. I don't know why they're so long. Because normally I think the roots are supposed to be like up here, aren't they? But these guys are whoosh, all the way down, and it's baffling, and it's making it really difficult. But the salvinia roots, I don't know if you can see, right here, there's the salvinia roots, and some more here. They're slightly fuzzy. See if I can take them out of the water without disturbing the shrimps too much. There they are. And they're really cool, because they've got quite a lot of roots. I think this is classed as a floating fern. They've got quite a lot of roots for what few leaves they have, and the leaves are bigger. So yeah, they aren't necessarily going to be less in the way of roots, but they're going to be shorter and more manageable. Oh, look at them all. So I think the problem with the Wenti at the moment, I think I have some Tropica aqua soil underneath this gravel cap. If you want some nice view at some roots, you can actually see there's a layer of mulm at the top there, and that's essentially in this tank it's just shrimp and snail poo. In a fish tank it would be, you know, fish poo and snail poo, shrimp poo, whatever animal you've got in there. They eat, they poo, it goes to the bottom, and if you don't gravel vacuum, it breaks down into what is almost like a compost, and that'll kind of come down into the substrate, and it'll fertilise it all. I swear I only cut this hair grass a couple of weeks ago as well. But yeah, I think the problem with the heavy root feeders is that the soil underneath has been depleted now, because the tank was set up in May 2022. So, you know, we're now in November. It has been a little while, and it's only what, half a kilogram of soil. So it's not that much. It was enough to get it started, but now it's crying a little bit. They love these bloodworms. Look at them go. But I think I've been watching a lot of videos. I think it was Corey from Aquarium Co-op talked about plant feeding, and root feeders will do kind of almost a 75% root feeding and 25% from the water column, and the reverse is true for primarily water column feeders like stem plants like the Ludwigia back there. If you can see it through the duckweed roots, honestly, they drive me bananas. Look at all of them. I'm really sorry about that bright light. That is the downfall of this sort of tank setup, but hey ho. we carry on. Isn't she beautiful? If I do say so myself. You might be able to see it on the glass. Might not be incredibly clear because I don't think the phones like to focus on the glass, but maybe you can see all the bloodworm raining down. You can almost kind of see there's some algae on the glass, and with this being an ecosystem tank, you're never going to fully get rid of the algae. You can get it down to a point. You know, I can look at this tank and I can see through the algae, and that's fine. You're never going to get rid of it completely because algae is a normal and healthy part of any ecosystem. Excuse me. I've just realised my pizza's going to be getting cold. Honestly, I get so easily distracted by everything. I just got so excited about my shrimp. Oh well, pizza's pizza. I can't remember what I was talking about now. Algae, yeah. So it's all over the walls of the tank, and you've only really seen a front view. I want to redo this a bit because I think I've made the mistake of trimming and replanting far too much. It's the Ludwigia is not too bad. You can see at the back. Hang on. Whoop. You can see at the back. Whoop. There is more algae back here. I'm not sure why that is in particular. And over on this side, with the Alternanthera rosifolia, I've chopped this right the way back because it was and is a huge mess. There's still a lot of algae there, but I chopped it so that I could put it in the big tank. You know, got to do what you got to do. Yeah. Here she is. I really like this stuff. Well, I mean, I don't like it. I don't eat it. But the Corydoras and the shrimp, they love it. The foods that I've got to try with the shrimp next is some frozen bloodworm, not frozen bloodworm. Oh, dried tubifex worm. I don't know where I got frozen bloodworm from. I've only got dried stuff at the moment, but it works really well. They're very happy, and when they're happy, I'm happy. Yeah, look at them. Absolutely nuts. Let's get a top view. Little bird's eye view, almost. You can see this one over here. She has got some eggs. Sorry, the camera does not like to focus. And then the animals move as I'm trying to focus on them. And it's just sod's law, really. There's another buried female over here. There's going to be a huge population boom soon. I guarantee it. So I'm going to have to be a lot more selective about who gets to stay in this tank and who doesn't. Because this is shrimp paradise here. This is the breeding tank. And again, there's no heater because shrimp are Neocaridina. They're really cold water shrimp. Not really cold water, sorry, but they prefer cooler temperatures, not cold. I think they're happy down to about 12 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. I only know that minus 40 degrees Celsius is the same as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I think 20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's all I've got. But yeah, these guys, they do prefer cooler temperatures rather than hot. They'll go in a tropical tank. They'll be happy enough. They'll be happy enough to breed and carry on doing their shrimpy things. But ultimately, they are happier in slightly cooler water. Just absolutely mesmerised by the guys up top. Look at them go. Okay, well, you've probably listened to me waffle on enough, so I think we'll call it at that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!